What's up, heroes? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into some serious mischief. We're finally going to crack open the brand new and very unique scenario pack from Marvel Champions, the card game, the Trickster Takeover. We're very hyped to get into this one because we're not just getting one new villain to fight, we're getting two. That's right, two. The alluring and dangerous Enchantress and the god of mischief himself, Loki. In this video, we are going to unbox everything and take a close look at the cards for both villains, and I'll give you my first impressions on some of these wild new mechanics. So let's get into it. First off, we have to appreciate the box art. We've got Loki looking incredibly smug on his throne, and he's planning something that's going to ruin your day. But you know what they say, everyone loves a trickster until the trick is played on them. So this is a 78 card scenario pack, and it looks like it is packed with theme. So no more waiting. Let's get into the shrink wrap off, and let's see what kind of chaos, Fantasy Flight Games has cooked up for us. We have our folded rules inserts. This is going to explain the specific setup for Enchantress, for Loki, and most importantly, the brand new epic multiplayer mode for Loki scenario, which I can't wait to see how that works out. Yeah, looks like everything labeled out how it's supposed to be. So let's see here. So, and then we have our two packs of cards. We'll have our mischief. So everything looks like they're all set up. So all right, so Enchantress is on this side. That looks artwork looks really nice on that. Colors are just popping out. So let's crack into one of these. Let's start with Enchantress first, and then gotta be careful with these. We don't want to ruin anything. Yep. All right, so let's start with the Enchantress. So we have our stage 1 card. 2 scheme, 1 attack. Force response. After Enchantress attacks you, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your player area. And second stage, we have the same deal, except 8, what's that? 16 health, 2 scheme, 2 attack, Asgard, Mystic, Steady, Toughness. When revealed in standard mode, put the set aside Future of Despair in play. Then place an additional 3 per player threat on it. Force response after Enchantress attacks you. Place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. Then stage 3. Oh, there we go. Stage 3, she has 3 scheme to attack, 18 health per player. Still Asgard Mystic, steady, toughness. Put it the set aside Future of Despair into play. Then place an additional 4 per player threat on it. Force response after Enchantress attacks you. Place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. So it looks like from what we're looking at here on these is that the whole deal with Enchantress is she's about control and manipulation. So her setup, as you put these special hypnotic gazes onto. It looks like it's these attachments right here. I'm trying to find that actually. So, oh, they're right here. Oh, okay. There we go. So there you go. So these. Okay, so it's all about these hypnotic gazes. So these are permanents that go onto your that you actually gain the trait on. And then if you have 5 or more charm counters here, remove each charm counter from here and then flip this card. And then it looks like it flips over. And each one has different effects on it. Okay, so she's pumping these charms onto these hypnotic gazes. And then when they flip over, they become trances. So there's different chances. So each one has a different kind of trance. It's like so. All right, so when you have so basically these are so they're permanent. So I guess they start up in the setup. Each one has a different one. So once the 5 hits on there, your Defiant trait will then turn into an Enthrall trait. So, like, for example, this one is called Trance of Sloth. When revealed, you are stunned, otherwise place 2 threat on the main scheme. Force action, exhaust this card. Heal 1 damage from Enchantress, draw 1 card, and then discard 1. This one is called Trance of Wrath. Your identity gains an enthrall trait just like the other one, but when revealed, search the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a card and reveal it, and then shuffle. Forced action, exhaust this card and take 1 indirect damage, then deal 2 damage to a minion. This one would be called Trance of Pride. So it looks like, let's fix this. So exhaust your identity, otherwise discard 1 card at random from your hand. So if you already are exhausted, you have to discard a card. Force action, exhaust this card, place 1 threat on the main scheme, then remove 2 threat from scheme. And then the next trance we have is called Trance of Greed. This is when revealed, you are confused. Otherwise, take 2 damage. And then force action, exhaust this card, and then draw 1 card. Exhaust this card, then draw 1 card, then play that card, paying its cost. If you cannot, take 1 damage. Ouch. And then the final one we have is called Trance of Envy. When revealed, discard a card you control, otherwise discard the top 8 cards of your deck. That's not nice. And then force action, exhaust this card, and then give Enchantress a face-down boost card, then ready your identity. So it's like it gives you, like, it sounds like some of them, like, give you good things, and then there's a cost for doing that, and it's going to be bad. So it flips to the trance side, gives your hero the enthralled trait, and then a lot of the encounter cards, like this enthralled lackey minion, can get more powerful if your hero's enthralled. So these enthralled lackeys that come in with quick strike. So force response, after this minion attacks, you place one charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. So these are gonna these are gonna add more counters to it. And then the boost effects on them, choose either place one charm counter on enchantment or confuse your identity. Looks like we have two of these enthralled brutes. One scheme to attack, guard, enthralled. While this minion is engaged with a player whose identity has the enthralled trait, the minion gets +3 hit points. And then boost effect, place either one charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area or exhaust your identity. We have a Cinder, one scheme for attack, 6 health. Elite Giant, attack, steal, indirect damage. So when revealed, if your identity has the Defiant trait, Cinder activates against you. If your identity has the Enthrall trait, give Cinder a tough status card, and he has the 3 boost icon on there. We have another mini called Ulick, Brute Troll, 0 scheme, 3 attack, 5 health. In expert mode, he gains toughness, and his force response is after a player deals any amount of damage to the Enchantress, Ulick will attack that player. When defeated, the Enchantress will attack the player who defeated Ulick and gets +1 attack for that attack. And I don't know if there's any other minions. That I see here. All right, so let's take a look at some of these scenarios here. So we have the main scheme for Enchantress, prime real estate. When a force interrupt, when a charm counter would be placed on the enchantment card in your play area, your identity has the enthrall trait, place 1 right here instead. Then the 2A to this would be Sovereign Sorceress. When revealed, if the crown of the Enchantress attachment is in place, stun each identity. Otherwise, search the encounter deck, discard pile for the crown of the Enchantress and reveal it. And then this will go to a 9 threat per player. Force interrupt. When a charm counter would be placed on the enchantment card in your play area. If your identity already has the enthrall trait, place 1 threat here instead. So basically, threat doesn't go on here until after you gain, until you're enthralled. Basically, it sounds like. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. So basically, like once you're enthralled, and things would make charm cards go there, it becomes threat instead. We have a side scheme called Future of Despair. Three boost icon, 2 threat per player. I'm not going to go into too much detail on these. I'll hold them up to the camera for, if you want to take a gander at it, because I want to keep most of this a surprise when I play it. But it looks like we're getting into some attachments. Called Kiss of Temptation. And then we have another attachment called Love Concoction. Oh, we've seen this card before, Seduced. And then we have the Crown of the Enchantress. Some side schemes coming. Law of Attraction. We actually have 2 of those. And then we have 2 copies of Spellbound. Alright, so here's a church. Oh, this is another one we got right here. Alluring Call. And then we have a treachery card called Do My Bidding. Two treachery cards of Magical Restraints. And we have 2 more treachery cards of Spell Blast. Then we have Spell Shards. And I believe that's it for actual setup. Awesome to see it here. All right, so it looks like we have also all right, so this is Loki's, looks like. All right, move her over the side. And let's take a look at Loki's cards. So we have Loki, God of Lies. He has 20 health per player. If Loki, God of Lies, has 10 per player or fewer remaining hit points, flip this card over. And looks like he's got a stage 2 card. When revealed, each group in standard mode attaches their set aside intense focus to the avatar of Loki, villain, in their game area. And then each group in expert mode flips their intense focus attachment to its total focus side. If Loki, God of Lies, is defeated, all players in all groups win the game. So this is a main scheme called Worlds Collide. This is second side. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil this for myself, so I don't want to just read all of it, but that's why I'm leaving it up on the camera, so if you want to pause it and read it, by all means. And then these looks like these are his avatars, so we have Loki the Rascal, and he does have a second side to it. No. You have Loki the... Oh, it's different, it looks like. Alright, so you have Loki the Rascal, and then it looks like he flips to Fading Figment. Loki the Miscreant. Oh, this one's a Fading Figment too. Okay, so... Yeah, it looks like their backside's a Fading Figment. Loki the Nav, and then again, Fading Figment. And then we have Loki the Wretch. And again, we flip it. It's called the Fading Figment. All right, and then we have the main scheme, mischief and mayhem. Then we have some attachments. Intense focus. Wrapped in chains. Dark Scepter. Dragoor Buddy. Undead. All right, Undeads are back. Nice. That'll go nice with Legions of Hell. And two of those. Get Grindel. Brute Dark Elf. Malekith. Get the Minotaur. The Mancog. The Manicog. Oh wow. 10 health per player, it looks like. Or group, it looks like. Stories and Lies, Treachery card. Domineering Force. Fiend Retreat. Mounting Resistance. So it's environment. We have another environment, Unified Front. Get another minion called Phineas Wolf. Trying to fix that. Or I can't. Hair Scoop. Hellsbugger. 7 health. 2/2. Look, we get Lofty. 7 health, 3 attack, 2 scheme. Get a side scheme. Orostasis. Door Between Worlds. Lofty Goals. So get 2 copies of those. The new Jotunheim. And we get 2 copies of Dark Arts. And we get Dirty Trick. And then more Stories and Lies. And that is all we have for Loki. And then we have the Trickster Magic Modular set. So we're going to get Absorbing Man. Looks like he's enthralled also. Titania. Whirlwind. Zax. The Trickster Tango. Side scheme. We have the Puppet Master. The old love triangle attachment. And then we have recruitable allies, so we can actually recruit Absorbing Man, looks like Tatiana, Whirlwind, and Sax. So that's kind of cool. Interesting to see how that takes place. And then it gives us the rule on how the Shattered illusion works. And then it has the rules to the Epic multiplayer. So, unfortunately, I don't have an Epic group to go through that, so I'll be focusing more just on the solo play of it. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to dig into this scenario. I think we're gonna have to try this out with the Asgardian thematics. Um, but so just not, by just, looking, just kind of skimming through it. My initial thoughts on this is that, this pack is, all about, breaking the standard rules of Marvel. It's not just about dealing damage. It's about managing entirely new mechanics because from what I gathered just by looking at some of these cards, it looks like Loki can't take damage until his villains or his avatar or illusions are taken care of first. So doesn't seem like standard brute strength is gonna get the job done. You're gonna have to, yeah, you gotta kind of respect the mechanics of it. Um, from what I looked at with Enchantress, um, she seems like she's gonna be pretty tough just because of her setup with those hypnotic gazes. So either way, you're gonna have this. This happens no matter what. So it's gonna be part of the whole game. So gonna have to try and figure out how to work through that. But I can't really give my thoughts on what the epic multiplayer be like. But um, if I'm sure it'd be if it's gonna be fun, if it's crazy just playing it with just local multiplayer or solo, and you're doing it in massive groups, I'm sure it's pretty gonna be wild and crazy. Especially with that one creature that had 10 health per group, from what it looked like. But other than that, and being able to recruit minions, that's gonna be pretty fun. Looks I can't wait to try that out. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be an absolute must-have for any Marvel Champions player, especially if you know you're a collector and you want to make sure that you're staying on top of collecting the set. And yeah, I say this is definitely when you have the opportunity or the opportunity presents itself, definitely pull the trigger. But I don't know. What do you what do you think? I don't know. That's what I think though. But I'd like to know, what is, your impressions of these cards so far? Which villain are you more excited or terrified to face? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this boxing, please give this video a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel for more Marvel Champions content. Um, right now, I want to get these sleeved up and I want to start getting some gameplay video out really soon. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. I'd like to again say thanks for watching, and I will see ya on the table. Have a good one.